For a while, it means becoming obsessed, relentless, unreasonable in your pursuit. And yes, it means suffering, but not the suffering of regret, of wasted potential, of dreams deferred. The suffering of discipline, of growth, of becoming. The suffering that forges character, that builds resilience, that creates a life worth living. The suffering that, in the end, is not really suffering at all, but the price of admission to greatness. So, are you ready? Are you willing to pay that price? Are you willing to become the person your goals require? Because the real reason you're not achieving your goals is not out there. It's in here. It's in the choices you make, the standards you set, the identity you claim. And the moment you decide, truly decide, everything changes. Let's talk about the myth of motivation. You've been told that you need to feel inspired, that you need to wait for the right moment, that you need to be in the mood to take action. But motivation is a liar. It's a fleeting emotion, a spark that comes and goes. If you rely on motivation, you'll spend your life waiting for the stars to align, for the perfect circumstances, for the feeling to strike. But the truth is, the people who achieve their goals are not the ones who feel motivated all the time. They're the ones who act regardless of how they feel. Discipline is the antidote to motivation. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't want to do it. It's showing up day after day, rain or shine, tired or energized, inspired or bored. It's making a promise to yourself and keeping it, not because you feel like it, but because you said you would. Discipline is the muscle that separates the dreamers from the doers, the talkers from the achievers. But discipline isn't something you're born with. It's something you build, one choice at a time. Every time you choose action over comfort, every time you keep a promise to yourself, you're strengthening that muscle. And the more you use it, the stronger it gets. The easier it becomes to do the hard things, to push through resistance, to keep going when others quit. So how do you build discipline? Start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire life overnight. Pick one thing, one habit, one routine, one commitment, and do it every day, no matter what. It could be as simple as making your bed, drinking a glass of water, writing a paragraph, doing 10 push-ups. The point is not the size of the action, but the consistency. Prove to yourself that you can follow through, that you can trust yourself, that you are the kind of person who does what they say. As you build that foundation, you can add more. Layer habits on top of each other, create routines that support your goals, design your environment to make success inevitable. Remove temptations, eliminate distractions, automate decisions. Make it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. Surround yourself with reminders of your goal, with people who hold you to a higher standard, with systems that keep you accountable. But even with discipline, you will face resistance. You will face setbacks, failures, disappointments. You will have days when nothing goes right, when you feel like giving up, when the voice in your head tells you it's not worth it. This is where most people quit. They hit a wall and turn back, convinced that it's a sign they're not cut out for this, that it's too hard, that it's not meant to be. But the wall is not the end. It's the beginning. It's the test that separates the committed from the curious, the serious from the dabblers. The wall is where you discover what you're made of, where you find out how badly you want it, where you earn the right to your goal. Most people see the wall as an obstacle. The achievers see it as an invitation to grow, to adapt, to become stronger. When you hit the wall, don't turn back. Don't make excuses. Don't blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what can I control? What can I do differently? How can I use this setback as fuel, as feedback, as a stepping stone? The most successful people are not the ones who never fail. They're the ones who fail forward, who learn from every mistake, who refuse to let setbacks define them. And here's another truth: you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Your goals are your destination, but your systems are the vehicle that gets you there. If your systems are weak, inconsistent, or non-existent, you will never reach your destination, no matter how badly you want it. But if your systems are strong, reliable, and aligned with your goals, success becomes inevitable. So audit your systems. How do you spend your mornings? Your evenings? What do you do when you're tired, stressed, or bored? What triggers your bad habits? What supports your good ones? Where are the leaks in your routine, the cracks in your foundation?
You wake up, and for a split second, you remember the promise you made to yourself. Maybe it was last night. Maybe it was last year. Maybe it was a decade ago. You said you'd change. You said you'd finally do it. You said this time would be different. But as the day unfolds, the world rushes in. Notifications, obligations, distractions, doubts. The promise fades, replaced by the familiar rhythm of routine. And somewhere, deep inside, a quiet voice asks, "Why am I still here? Why haven't I moved? Why am I not living the life I know I'm capable of?" Let's be honest, you've read the books, you've watched the videos, you've listened to the podcasts, the interviews, the motivational speeches. You know what you're supposed to do. You know about discipline, about habits, about the grind. You know about vision boards and morning routines and the power of positive thinking. You know all the right words. But knowing isn't doing. And doing consistently is the only thing that changes anything. So what's really stopping you? Is it fear? Is it laziness? Is it a lack of time, a lack of resources, a lack of support? Or is it something deeper, something harder to name? The truth is, most people never achieve their goals, not because they're not smart enough, not because they're not talented enough, but because they're not honest enough. Honest with themselves about what they want, about what they're willing to sacrifice, about what it really takes. There's a war inside every person, a war between comfort and growth, between the person you are and the person you could be. And every day, every moment, you're making choices, tiny, almost invisible choices that decide which side wins. Most people lose that war not in a single dramatic defeat, but in 1,000 small surrenders. They lose it in the snooze button, in the extra scroll, in the skipped workout, in the unspoken truth, in the easy yes when they should have said no. But here's the thing, you're not most people. You're here, right now, listening, searching, hungry for something more. You feel the tension, the gap between your reality and your potential. You know there's more inside you. You know you're capable of greatness, of transformation, of becoming someone unrecognizable to your past self. But you also know the pain of falling short, of letting yourself down, of living below your own standards. So let's get real. Let's strip away the excuses, the stories, the justifications. Let's look at the real reason you're not achieving your goals. It's not because you're broken. It's not because you're unlucky. It's not because the world is against you. It's because you haven't made the decision. Not a wish, not a hope, not a vague intention. A decision. The kind that cuts off all other options. The kind that says, I will do this, or I will die trying. The kind that changes your identity, not just your behavior. Most people never make that decision. They dabble, they try, they experiment, but they never commit. They keep one foot in the old life just in case. They want the results, but they don't want the process. They want the glory, but not the grind. They want the transformation, but not the discomfort. And so they stay stuck, circling the same mountain year after year, wondering why nothing changes. But you can change. You can decide right now that this is the moment everything shifts. You can decide to stop negotiating with your limitations, to stop arguing for your excuses, to stop settling for less than you deserve. You can decide to become the kind of person who does what they say, who keeps their promises, who shows up even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when no one is watching. It starts with honesty, brutal, unflinching honesty. What do you really want? Not what you think you should want, not what other people want for you, not what's safe or acceptable or easy. What do you want so badly it scares you? What do you want so much you'd be willing to suffer for it, to sacrifice for it, to become someone new for it? If you don't know, that's the first step. Get clear. Get specific. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Make it real. Then, look at your life. Look at your habits, your routines, your environment, your relationships. Are they aligned with your goal, or are they pulling you away from it? Are you surrounding yourself with people who challenge you, who inspire you, who hold you accountable? Or are you surrounded by comfort, by distraction, by mediocrity? Are you designing your days to move you closer to your goal? Or are you drifting, reacting, hoping things will somehow change on their own? The truth is, your life is perfectly designed for the results you're getting. If you want different results, you have to design a different life. That means changing your habits, your environment, your standards. It means saying no to things that used to be good enough. It means being willing to be misunderstood, to be judged, to be alone.
Fix them. Strengthen them. Make your systems so strong that success is the default, not the exception. But even the best systems can't save you if your identity is working against you. If you see yourself as someone who always quits, who never follows through, who isn't good enough, you will sabotage yourself at every turn. Your actions will always align with your identity, with the story you tell yourself about who you are. If you want to change your life, you have to change your story. Start telling yourself a new story, not a fantasy, not a lie, but a vision of who you are becoming. I am disciplined. I am resilient. I am unstoppable. I am the kind of person who does hard things, who keeps going when others quit, who achieves what I set out to do. Repeat it until you believe it, until it becomes your default setting, until your actions naturally flow from your new identity. And remember, change is not a one-time event. It's a process, a journey, a daily commitment. There will be days when you slip, when you fall short, when you feel like you're back at square one. That's normal. That's part of the process. The key is not to be perfect, but to be persistent, to get back up, to keep moving forward, to never give up on yourself. Because the real reason you're not achieving your goals is not a lack of talent or resources or opportunity. It's a lack of commitment, of discipline, of belief. But all of that can change, starting right now, with one decision, one action, one day at a time. Let's dig deeper into the stories you tell yourself, the silent scripts running in the background of your mind. Every day, you narrate your life, often without realizing it. I'm not a morning person. I always mess things up. I'm just not disciplined. These aren't just passing thoughts. They're self-fulfilling prophecies. Your brain listens, your body obeys, and your actions follow. If you want to change your results, you have to change your narrative. Think about it. Every time you set a goal and fall short, a part of you collects evidence. See? I knew I couldn't do it. The more you repeat this cycle, the more you reinforce the belief that you're not capable, not worthy, not enough. But what if you flipped the script? What if, instead of collecting evidence for your limitations, you started collecting evidence for your potential? Start small. Celebrate every win, no matter how minor. Did you get out of bed when you wanted to hit snooze? That's a win. Did you resist the urge to procrastinate even for 5 minutes? That's a win. Did you keep a promise to yourself, even if it was just drinking a glass of water or writing a single sentence? That's a win. Stack these wins. Let them build momentum. Let them rewrite your story. But don't stop there. Challenge your limiting beliefs. Where did they come from? Who told you that you weren't good enough, smart enough, disciplined enough? Was it a parent, a teacher, a friend, or maybe just your own fear? Most of our beliefs are inherited, absorbed from the world around us, not chosen, but you can choose. You can decide right now to question every belief that holds you back. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this helpful? Does this belief move me closer to my goals or further away? If it doesn't serve you, let it go. Replace it with a belief that empowers you, that challenges you, that calls you to a higher standard. I am capable of change. I am becoming more disciplined every day. I am worthy of success. These aren't just affirmations. They're declarations of intent. They're the foundation of a new identity, a new reality. But belief alone isn't enough. You have to back it up with action. Every time you act in alignment with your new identity, you reinforce it. Every time you do the hard thing, the uncomfortable thing, the thing you used to avoid, you prove to yourself that you are changing. And over time, those actions add up. They become habits, routines, a way of life. This is where most people get stuck. They want the change, but they're not willing to endure the discomfort. They want the results, but they're not willing to pay the price. But here's the truth. Growth is uncomfortable. Change is hard. If it were easy, everyone would do it. The discomfort is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a sign that you're growing, stretching, becoming someone new. So, embrace the discomfort, lean into it. Let it be a signal that you're moving in the right direction. When you feel resistance, when you feel fear, when you feel the urge to quit, remind yourself, this is the price of admission. This is what separates the achievers from the dreamers, the committed from the curious. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. Find people who are on the same path, who share your values, your vision, your commitment. Surround yourself with those who challenge you, who inspire you, who hold you accountable. Community is a force multiplier. When you're surrounded by people who expect more from you, you rise to the occasion. When you're surrounded by people who settle, you shrink to fit. But be careful who you let into your circle. Not everyone will support your growth. Some will feel threatened by your ambition, your discipline, your success. They'll try to pull you back, to keep you comfortable, to keep you the same. Don't let them. Protect your energy, your focus, your vision. You don't owe anyone your stagnation. You owe yourself your potential. And if you can't find a community, be your own. Be your own biggest supporter, your own coach, your own accountability partner. Set standards for yourself and hold yourself to them. Track your progress, celebrate your wins, learn from your losses. Be relentless in your pursuit of growth. But don't confuse relentlessness with perfection. You will slip, you will fall, you will have days when you don't live up to your standards. That's not failure. That's feedback. Use it, learn from it, adjust your approach, your systems, your mindset. The only real failure is giving up, settling, deciding that your current reality is all you'll ever have. So keep going, keep pushing, keep believing. The real reason you're not achieving your goals is not because you're not capable. but because you haven't fully committed. You haven't decided deep down that you will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. No matter what, make that decision now. Draw the line in the sand, burn the boats, go all in. Because the life you want, the goals you dream of, the person you're capable of becoming, they're all on the other side of that decision. And the only thing standing in your way is you. Let's talk about the power of environment. Most people underestimate just how much their surroundings shape their actions, their habits, and ultimately, their destiny. You might think you have willpower, that you can resist temptation, that you can rise above your circumstances. But the truth is, your environment is always working on you, silently, invisibly, relentlessly. If you're not intentional about shaping your environment, it will shape you, and not always in ways that serve your goals. Look around you. What do you see? Is your space cluttered or clean? Is it filled with reminders of your goals or distractions that pull you away from them? Are your tools for growth, your books, your journal, your workout gear within arm's reach or buried under piles of things you never use? The smallest details matter. The arrangement of your desk, the apps on your phone, the people you follow online, the conversations you have every day. All of it adds up, nudging you toward action or inertia, progress or procrastination. If you want to achieve your goals, you have to become a master of your environment. Start by removing friction. Make it as easy as possible to do the right thing, and as hard as possible to do the wrong thing. If you want to read more, put a book on your pillow. If you want to eat healthier, fill your fridge with real food and get rid of the junk. If you want to work out, lay out your clothes the night before. If you want to write, keep your journal open on your desk. Don't rely on willpower. Design your environment so that success is the path of least resistance. But environment isn't just physical, it's digital too. Your phone, your laptop, your social media feeds, these are environments you inhabit every day. Are they filled with inspiration, education, and accountability? Or are they filled with noise, negativity, and distraction? Audit your digital life. Unfollow accounts that drain you. Mute notifications that interrupt your focus. Curate your feeds so that every scroll is a reminder of your goals, not a detour from them. And then there's the most powerful environment of all, the people you spend time with. Jim Rohn said, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." It's a cliche, because it's true. If you're surrounded by people who complain, who settle, who make excuses, you will start to do the same. If you're surrounded by people who strive, who push, who expect more from themselves and from you, you'll rise to meet them. This doesn't mean you have to cut everyone out of your life, but it does mean you have to be intentional about who you let influence you. Seek out mentors, role models, peers who are on the same journey. Join communities, online or offline, where growth is the norm and excellence is expected. If you can't find those people, become that person. Lead by example. Inspire others with your actions, your discipline, your commitment. But even the best environment can't save you if you're not willing to use it. You have to show up. You have to do the work. You have to take advantage of the opportunities around you. Don't wait for the perfect setup, the perfect moment, the perfect support system. Start where you are with what you have and build from there. Progress is messy. Growth is uncomfortable. No matter how small, is a victory. And remember, your environment is not just a backdrop, it's a tool. Use it to reinforce your identity, your habits, your goals. Fill your space with reminders of who you want to become. Post your goals on the wall. Set alarms with affirmations. Create rituals that anchor you to your vision. Make your environment a reflection of your commitment, a daily nudge toward your best self. But don't stop at your immediate surroundings. Expand your environment. Seek out new experiences, new challenges, new perspectives. Travel, even if it's just to a new part of your city. Try new things. Meet new people. Expose yourself to new ideas. Growth happens at the edges, at the borders of your comfort zone. The more you stretch, the more you grow. And when you find yourself slipping, when old habits creep back in, don't blame yourself. Blame your environment. Adjust it. Tweak it. Make it work for you, not against you. Success is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent, about making small adjustments, about stacking the odds in your favor. So take a look around. What needs to change? What can you remove, add, or rearrange to make your environment a launching pad for your goals? Don't wait. Do it now. Because the real reason you're not achieving your goals might not be a lack of willpower or talent. It might just be a lack of intention in shaping the world around you. Every day, you have a choice. You can let your environment shape you, or you can shape your environment. You can drift, or you can design. You can settle, or you can strive. The power is in your hands. Use it. Now let's talk about time, the most misunderstood resource in your life. Everyone has the same 24 hours, but not everyone uses them the same way. You might think you're busy, that you don't have enough time to chase your goals, but the truth is, it's not about how much time you have. It's about how you use it. Time is the great equalizer. Oprah, Elon Musk, Serena Williams, and you all get the same daily deposit. The difference is in the choices, the priorities, the focus. Most people live in reaction mode. They wake up and immediately check their phone, letting the world set their agenda. They respond to messages, scroll through social media, get pulled into other people's priorities. By the time they look up, half the day is gone, and their own goals are still waiting. If you want to achieve your goals, you have to flip the script. You have to become proactive, not reactive. You have to own your time, not rent it out to the highest bidder. Start by getting clear on your priorities. What matters most? What are the few things that, if done consistently, would move you closer to your goals? Write them down. Make them non-negotiable. Schedule them first before anything else. Treat them like appointments you can't miss. Protect them fiercely, because if you don't, the world will fill your calendar with its own agenda. But clarity is just the beginning. You need focus. In a world of endless distractions, focus is a superpower. Every notification, every ping, every open tab is a thief, stealing your attention, your energy, your potential. You can't do deep work if you're constantly interrupted. You can't make progress if you're always switching tasks, chasing shiny objects, reacting to every demand. So create boundaries, turn off notifications, set specific times to check email and messages. Use tools and apps that block distractions. Create a space, physical or digital, where you can work without interruption. Let people know when you're unavailable. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. But even with focus, you'll face the enemy of procrastination. Procrastination isn't just laziness, it's fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of not being good enough. It's the mind's way of protecting you from discomfort. But the cost is high. Every time you put off what matters, you reinforce the belief that you can't handle it, that you're not capable, that your goals aren't important. The antidote to procrastination is action. Not massive, overwhelming action, but small, simple steps. Break your goals down into tiny tasks. Make it so easy to start that you can't say no. If you want to write a book, start with a sentence. If you want to get fit, start with a walk around the block. If you want to build a business, start with a single email. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates results. And don't fall into the trap of perfectionism. Perfectionism is just procrastination in disguise. It's the fear of not being good enough, dressed up as high standards. But nothing great was ever achieved by waiting for perfect conditions. Start messy. Start before you're ready. Start with what you have. You can always improve, iterate, refine, but you can't improve what you haven't started. Track your time, audit your days. Where are the leaks? Where are you wasting precious minutes, hours, days? Be ruthless. Cut out the unnecessary. Delegate, automate, eliminate. Free up space for what matters most. Remember, every yes is a no to something else. Every minute spent on the trivial is a minute stolen from your dreams. But don't just fill your time with work. Rest is essential. Recovery is non-negotiable. Burnout is not a badge of honor. It's a sign of misaligned priorities. Schedule downtime. Protect your sleep. Move your body. Nourish your mind. The goal is not to do more, but to do what matters, better. And remember, time is not just about productivity. It's about presence. It's about being fully engaged in whatever you're doing, whether it's working on your goals, spending time with loved ones, or simply being alone with your thoughts. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your attention. Wherever you are, be there. Give your best to the moment in front of you. So, take control of your time. Design your days with intention. Prioritize what matters. Focus deeply. Act consistently. Rest deliberately. And above all, be present. Because the real reason you're not achieving your goals is not a lack of time. It's a lack of clarity, focus, and intention. Change that, and you change everything. Let's shift the lens to something even more fundamental: your relationship with discomfort. Most people spend their lives running from discomfort, seeking the path of least resistance, the easy way out. But the truth is, every meaningful goal, every worthwhile achievement, every transformation you desire lives on the other side of discomfort. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. If you want to achieve your goals, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Think about the moments in your life when you grew the most. Were they easy? Were they painless? Or did they demand more from you than you thought you had? Did they force you to stretch, to adapt, to dig deep? Discomfort is the crucible of growth. It's the gym where your character is built, where your resilience is forged, where your limits are tested and expanded. But most people avoid discomfort at all costs. They choose the familiar over the unfamiliar, the easy over the hard, the known over the unknown. They stay in jobs they hate, relationships that drain them, routines that numb them, not because they're happy, but because they're comfortable. Comfort is seductive. It whispers, "Stay here. It's safe. It's easy. You don't have to change." But comfort is also a cage. It keeps you small, stuck, stagnant. If you want to break free, you have to reframe discomfort. Stop seeing it as a threat and start seeing it as a signal. Discomfort means you're growing. It means you're pushing your boundaries, challenging your limits, stepping into the unknown. It means you're alive, engaged, in the arena. The people who achieve their goals are not the ones who avoid discomfort. They're the ones who seek it out, who embrace it, who use it as fuel. So, how do you build a better relationship with discomfort? Start by leaning into it, one small step at a time. Take cold showers. Wake up earlier than you want to. Have the difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Try something new, something that scares you. Every time you choose discomfort over comfort, you build mental toughness. You prove to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. You expand your capacity for challenge, for growth, for achievement. But don't just seek discomfort for its own sake. Use it as a tool, a teacher, a guide. When you feel resistance, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What am I afraid of? What story am I telling myself about what this discomfort means? Often, the thing you're avoiding is the very thing you need to do to move forward. The magic you're looking for is in the work you're avoiding. And remember, discomfort is temporary. Pain is temporary. But the lessons, the growth, the transformation, they last. The suffering of discipline is always less than the suffering of regret. The pain of pushing through is always less than the pain of looking back and wishing you had tried. So, make discomfort your ally. Seek it out, embrace it, let it shape you, strengthen you, refine you. The more you do, the less power it has over you. The more you grow, the more you achieve, the more you become. But don't do it alone. Find others who are willing to walk the same path, who are willing to be uncomfortable, to challenge themselves, to grow. Support each other. Hold each other accountable. Celebrate each other's wins. And learn from each other's losses. Community makes discomfort bearable. It turns struggle into shared experience, pain into purpose. And when you feel like quitting, when the discomfort feels overwhelming, remember why you started. Remember the vision, the goal, the dream that pulled you out of your comfort zone in the first place. Anchor yourself to your purpose. Let it pull you through the hard days, the setbacks, the failures. Purpose is the ultimate fuel. It gives meaning to the struggle, value to the pain, direction to the journey. So the next time you feel discomfort, don't run, don't hide, don't numb it with distractions or excuses. Face it, embrace it, use it. Because the real reason you're not achieving your goals is not because you're not capable, not because you're not worthy, but because you're not willing to be uncomfortable long enough to grow into the person you need to become. Discomfort is the price of admission to your dreams. Pay it gladly, pay it daily, and watch as your life transforms, one uncomfortable step at a time. Now let's talk about the power of consistency. If discomfort is the price of admission, consistency is the vehicle that gets you to your destination. Most people underestimate the compounding effect of small, repeated actions. They want big results, fast. They want the overnight transformation, the quantum leap, the shortcut. But the truth is, greatness is built in the mundane, in the repetition, in the daily grind that no one sees. Think about water dripping on a stone. One drop does nothing. 10 drops, 100 drops, still nothing. But over time, with relentless consistency, the stone is shaped, carved, transformed. your goals are the same. One workout won't change your body. One day of writing won't finish your book. One act of kindness won't heal a relationship. But show up day after day, and the results become inevitable. Consistency is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about showing up, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, even when progress is invisible. It's about trusting the process, believing that your efforts will pay off, even when the evidence is nowhere to be seen. The most successful people are not the most talented, the most intelligent, or the most lucky. They're the most consistent. But consistency is hard. It's boring. It's repetitive. It lacks the excitement of novelty, the thrill of new beginnings. That's why most people quit. They start strong, fueled by motivation and excitement. But when the novelty wears off, when the results are slow, they lose interest. They move on to the next shiny object, the next quick fix, the next promise of instant gratification. If you want to achieve your goals, you have to fall in love with the process. You have to find joy in the repetition, meaning in the mundane, purpose in the practice. You have to become the kind of person who shows up no matter what, who does the work even when no one is watching, who keeps going even when progress is slow. So how do you build consistency? Start by making it easy. Lower the barrier to entry. Don't set yourself up for failure with unrealistic expectations. If you want to build a habit, make it so simple you can't fail. Want to start running? Commit to putting on your shoes and stepping outside every day, even if you only run for a minute. Want to write a book? Commit to writing one sentence a day. The key is not the size of the action, but the act of showing up. Track your progress. Use a calendar, a journal, an app, whatever works for you. Mark every day you show up. Let the streak become its own motivation. Don't break the chain. If you miss a day, don't miss two. Forgive yourself and get back on track. Consistency is not about never failing. It's about never quitting. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Every day you show up is a victory. Every day you keep your promise to yourself, you build self-trust, self-respect, self-belief. Over time, these small wins add up. They become habits, routines, a way of life. They become the foundation of your success. But consistency is not just about action. It's about alignment. Make sure your actions are aligned with your values, your vision, your goals. Don't just go through the motions. Be intentional. Be present. Bring your best to every moment, every task, every interaction. Consistency without intention is just busy work. Consistency with intention is transformation. And remember, consistency is contagious. When you show up, you inspire others to do the same. When you keep your promises, you raise the standard for everyone around you. Your consistency becomes a beacon, a source of strength, a model of what's possible. But don't let consistency become rigidity. Life is unpredictable. Circumstances change. Be flexible. Adapt your approach as needed. The goal is not to be perfect, but to be persistent, to keep moving forward no matter what. So, commit to consistency. Make it your superpower. Show up day after day, even when it's hard, even when it's boring, even when no one is watching. Trust the process. Celebrate the small wins. Align your actions with your vision, and watch as your life transforms, not in a single leap, but in 1,000 small steps. Because the real reason you're not achieving your goals is not a lack of talent or opportunity or luck. It's a lack of consistency. Change that, and you change everything. Let's explore the role of self-awareness in achieving your goals. Self-awareness is the foundation upon which all growth is built. Without it, you're flying blind, reacting to life instead of creating it. Most people never stop to examine their thoughts, their habits, their patterns. They move through life on autopilot, repeating the same mistakes, falling into the same traps, wondering why nothing changes. But self-awareness is the key that unlocks transformation. Start by asking yourself the hard questions. What do you really want? Not what you think you should want, not what others expect of you, but what you truly desire. What lights you up? What drains you? What are your strengths, your weaknesses, your blind spots? Where are you sabotaging yourself? Where are you settling for less than you deserve? Be honest, brutally honest. Self-awareness is not about judgment or shame. It's about clarity. It's about seeing yourself as you are, not as you wish you were. It's about owning your story, your choices, your results. The more honest you are with yourself, the more power you have to change. But self-awareness is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice, a lifelong journey. Make time for reflection. Journal your thoughts, your wins, your struggles. Meditate. Take inventory of your habits, your routines, your environment. Ask for feedback from people you trust. Be willing to see what you'd rather ignore. And when you find something you don't like, don't run from it. Don't hide. Don't make excuses. Face it. Own it. Use it as fuel for growth. Every weakness is an opportunity. Every mistake is a lesson. Every setback is a stepping stone. The most successful people are not the ones who never fail. They're the ones who learn from every failure, who use every experience to get better, stronger, wiser. Self-awareness also means knowing your triggers. What throws you off course? What tempts you to quit, to procrastinate, to settle? Is it stress, boredom, fear, criticism? Identify your triggers and create strategies to deal with them. Don't wait until you're in the heat of the moment. Prepare in advance. Have a plan. The more you understand yourself, the more control you have over your actions, your reactions, your results. But self-awareness is not just about looking inward. It's about looking outward, too. How do you show up in the world? How do you impact the people around you? Are you lifting others up or dragging them down? Are you living in alignment with your values, your vision, your goals? Or are you just going through the motions, living someone else's script?
Take responsibility for your impact. You are not an island. Your actions, your words, your energy ripple out into the world. Make sure those ripples are positive, intentional, aligned with who you want to be. And remember, self-awareness is a journey, not a destination. You will never have it all figured out. You will always be learning, growing, evolving. Embrace the process. Be curious. Be humble. Be willing to change. But don't let self-awareness become self-obsession. Don't get stuck in analysis paralysis, overthinking every move, every flaw, every mistake. Use your awareness as a tool for action, not an excuse for inaction. The goal is not to be perfect, but to be better, to make progress one day at a time. So cultivate self-awareness. Make it a daily practice. Ask the hard questions, seek the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Use what you learn to grow, to improve, to become the person your goals require. Because the real reason you're not achieving your goals is not a lack of ability or opportunity or luck. It's a lack of self-awareness. Change that and you change everything. And as you grow in self-awareness, you'll notice something powerful. Your confidence grows too. Not the fake confidence that comes from pretending to be perfect, but the real confidence that comes from knowing yourself, flaws and all, and choosing to show up anyway. The more you know yourself, the less you fear failure, rejection, or judgment. You become unstoppable, not because you're perfect, but because you're real. So look in the mirror. Ask yourself, who am I? Who do I want to become? What's standing in my way? And what am I willing to do about it? The answers are within you. All you have to do is listen. Let's talk about the power of vision. Vision is the compass that guides your actions, the North Star that keeps you moving forward when the path gets dark. Without vision, you drift. You react to life instead of creating it. You settle for what's easy instead of striving for what's possible. But with vision, you become unstoppable. You have a reason to get up in the morning, a reason to push through the hard days, a reason to keep going when everyone else quits. But vision is more than just a goal. It's a vivid, compelling picture of the future you want to create. It's not just about what you want to achieve, but who you want to become. It's about the impact you want to have, the legacy you want to leave, the life you want to live. Vision is the fuel that powers persistence, the magnet that pulls you through adversity, the anchor that keeps you grounded when the storms of life hit. So how do you create a powerful vision? Start by dreaming big. Don't limit yourself to what seems possible, reasonable, or realistic. Let your imagination run wild. What would your life look like if you could have, do, or be anything? What would you pursue if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you create if you weren't afraid of judgment, rejection, or disappointment? Write it down. Make it real. Describe your vision in vivid detail. Where are you? Who are you with? What are you doing? How do you feel? The more specific, the better. Your brain needs a target, a destination, a reason to act. The clearer your vision, the more powerful your motivation. But don't stop at dreaming. Turn your vision into a plan. Break it down into goals, milestones, actions. What needs to happen for your vision to become reality? What steps can you take today, this week, this month, to move closer to your dream? Reverse engineer your vision. Start with the end in mind and work backward. Make your vision actionable, measurable, achievable, and then commit. Don't just wish for your vision, fight for it. Protect it, nurture it. Remind yourself of it every day. Create rituals, routines, and reminders that keep your vision front and center. When you wake up, visualize your future. When you face setbacks, reconnect with your why. When you feel like quitting, remember what's at stake. But vision alone is not enough. You have to align your actions with your vision. Every decision, every habit, every relationship should move you closer to your dream, not further away. Audit your life. Where are you out of alignment? Where are you settling, compromising, or drifting? Make the necessary changes. Say no to what doesn't serve you. Say yes to what moves you forward. And don't be afraid to adjust your vision as you grow. Life is unpredictable. Circumstances change. You change. Be flexible. Be willing to let go of what no longer serves you, to pivot when necessary, to evolve your vision as you evolve. The goal is not to cling to a static picture, but to stay true to your deepest values, your highest aspirations, your truest self. Share your vision with others. Speak it out loud. Write it on your walls. Tell your friends, your family, your mentors. The more you share your vision, the more real it becomes. The more you invite others into your dream, the more support, accountability, and encouragement you'll receive. Don't keep your vision a secret. Let it shine, but be prepared for resistance. Not everyone will understand your vision. Some will doubt you, criticize you, try to pull you back. That's normal. That's part of the journey. Don't let their doubts become your doubts. Don't let their limitations become your limitations. Protect your vision fiercely. Believe in it, even when no one else does. And remember, vision is not just about the future. It's about the present. It's about who you are becoming right now, in this moment. Every action you take, every choice you make, is a vote for the person you want to be. Live your vision today, not someday. Embody it in your words, your actions, your attitude. So create a vision that excites you, that scares you, that pulls you forward. Make it real, make it actionable, make it yours. Align your life with your vision. Share it with the world. Protect it from doubt, from fear, from mediocrity. And above all, live it every day in every way. Because the real reason you're not achieving your goals is not a lack of vision, but a lack of commitment to that vision. Change that and you change everything. Now, as we bring everything together, let's talk about the ultimate truth, the truth that ties all of this together and reveals the real reason you're not achieving your goals. It's not just one thing. It's not just discipline or vision or resilience or environment or time or discomfort or consistency or self-awareness. It's all of them, working together, compounding over time, shaping who you are and what you become. The real reason you're not achieving your goals is that you haven't yet become the person your goals require. But the good news is you can start becoming that person right now. You see, every goal is a call to transformation. It's not just about what you want to have, but about who you need to become to have it. If you want to achieve something you've never achieved before, you have to become someone you've never been before. That means letting go of old habits, old stories, old identities. It means stepping into the unknown, embracing discomfort, and trusting the process. It means making a decision, a real decision, that you will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes, no matter what. This is not easy. It's not glamorous. It's not always fun. But it is worth it, because on the other side of that decision is a life you can't even imagine. A life of purpose, of passion, of fulfillment, of impact. A life where you wake up every day excited to chase your vision, to push your limits, to become more than you were yesterday. A life where you look back, not with regret, but with pride, knowing you gave everything you had for something that mattered. So what does it take to become that person? It takes honesty, the courage to face your truth, to own your story, to admit where you've been holding back. It takes discipline, the willingness to do the work, day after day, even when you don't feel like it. It takes vision, the ability to see beyond your current circumstances, to imagine a future that excites you, that scares you, that pulls you forward. It takes resilience, the strength to get back up every time you fall, to learn from every setback, to keep going no matter what. It takes consistency, the commitment to show up, to keep your promises, to build habits that compound over time. It takes self-awareness, the humility to know your strengths and weaknesses, to seek feedback, to keep growing. It takes environment, the wisdom to shape your surroundings, to protect your energy, to surround yourself with people who lift you higher. It takes time, the patience to play the long game, to trust the process, to celebrate the small wins along the way. But above all, it takes belief. Belief in yourself, in your vision, in your ability to change. Belief that you are worthy of your goals, that you are capable of greatness, that you have what it takes to become the person your dreams require. This belief is not something you're born with. It's something you build, one choice at a time, one action at a time, one day at a time. So as you stand at the edge of your potential, ask yourself, who do I need to become to achieve my goals? What habits do I need to build? What stories do I need to rewrite? What actions do I need to take today to move closer to my vision? Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for someone to save you. The cavalry is not coming. It's all on you, but you are not alone. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has walked this path. They have faced the same doubts, the same fears, the same setbacks. They have fallen and risen and fallen again. But they kept going. They kept believing. They kept becoming, and so can you. Your goals are not just dreams. They are a call to action, a call to growth, a call to become. Answer that call. Step into your power. Embrace the journey. Trust the process. And remember, the real reason you're not achieving your goals is not because you can't. It's because you haven't yet decided that you will. Make that decision now. Commit to the process. Become the person your goals require. Because in the end, it's not about the goal. It's about who you become in the pursuit of it. It's about the courage to dream, the discipline to act, the resilience to persist, the humility to learn, the consistency to show up, the vision to see what's possible, the self-awareness to grow, the environment to support you, the time to invest, and the belief to keep going. This is your moment. This is your life. This is your story. Write it well. Live it fully. Become the person you were meant to be. And when you look back, you'll know the real reason you achieved your goals is because you became unstoppable.